Hey guys, Greg Tambone, Bone Tactical checking in. This is video number 8, I believe, of the coronavirus series that I'm doing, helping you guys stay prepared, giving you guys the rundowns, and then talking through just the general stuff. Really, the way that we're going to survive this thing, guys, is through knowledge and through helping others and through keeping a level head, okay? And that's just what I'm trying to impart on you guys, on my friends, on my followers. As you guys know, Bone Tactical is all about building a strong network, a strong community, a strong America, okay? But that starts with you, it starts with your neighborhood, it starts with your neighbors, okay? Let's get right into today's topic, and that is breaking the curve, okay? And we're talking about a line chart here, or basically the curve of amount of people that are getting this, or are we actually breaking the bank? Are we destroying the economy? Are we going to be putting a lot of people into bankruptcy? Are we causing small businesses to go out of business? What about capitalism? What about the line between what the government is allowed to do and our individual freedoms? Where's that line, okay? My opinion is that many of these countries, including the United States right now, causing businesses to shut down is breaking the bank more than that they're breaking the curve. Is it a necessary evil, so to speak? I don't know, guys. I don't really know. Let's delve into this topic, okay, and talk a little bit more about, tell you guys a little bit more about what I'm talking about here. Now, why are we doing these quarantines? Why are we doing this social distancing? Here's the biggest myth about the coronavirus. This is not going to keep anyone from getting the coronavirus. This social distancing stuff is not going to keep people, it's not even necessarily going to keep even one person from getting the coronavirus. What it is going to do is it's going to knock the top off of the curve. What that means is we're looking at a line chart here, and okay, now 13 people have coronavirus, 75 people, 100 people, and then if there's no social distancing, it's all of the people that are going to get coronavirus are going to get it all of a sudden, is the line of thinking. So social distancing is going to slow out that curve. It's going to allow hospitals to take care of their patients longer. But let's look at some simple facts here. We don't have a cure for this virus as of right now. The hospitals are taking care of people like it's the flu. People are dying if they're going to die, and if they have mild to moderate symptoms, they're at home taking care of themselves like they have the flu, and they're surviving. So what are we really doing here? What are the positive impacts, and are they outweighing the negative impacts? The negative impacts are we're causing people to go bankrupt. We're causing businesses to have to close their doors. That's not what America's all about. That's not what we want, guys. We don't want to destroy our own economy at the expense of maybe drawing out this coronavirus. And do we really want to draw it out? I don't think so. Is there a better way to do this? I think that there's a better way. I think the main problem is that the government never has your best interests at heart. The government always has their best interests at heart. And obviously, it's just the flawed world that we live in. No government cares about you. They care about themselves. And that's just people in general, apart from the few of us who actually care about others and want to do well in our communities. The government is not like that. What can we do, though? What can we do as people? Well, we need to understand that. We need to understand that maybe this closing of businesses and not working is not the best idea, and we need to talk about other ways. I'm going to give a real quick example here of one way that I'm helping you guys. I am opening my brand ambassador program up to absolutely anyone. So anybody who doesn't have a job right now, anybody who's hurting for work, or anybody who just wants to make a little extra cash, I make the most effective edged weapons and self-defense tools in the world. You can see here behind me, I make them by hand. I'm here at my blacksmith shop right now. This is my office. My blacksmith shop is right here. You guys have seen the walk around video. You guys have seen the Bone Tactical knife and tool making process. Okay, that's right out back. My gym is right here. Home gym that I built myself is right here on the other side of this office. And it's just a small little office, and I make my videos in here. And I come here in the morning at about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I work out, and then right now I'm making a video for you guys after I finish working out and before I start working in the shop. So basically what I'm doing is I'm allowing you guys to make a little bit of extra money by becoming brand ambassadors and selling these tools. You don't have to touch them, you don't have to buy them, you don't have to spend any money. You can just promote on whatever platform you can promote on. Email me at greg@bonetactical.com, greg@bonetactical.com. Shoot me an email and say, hey Greg, I'm asking you about the Bone Ambassador program, okay? And what that means is you can do word of mouth. I'll create you a discount code and it gets people 10% off, and you just tell all your friends, hey look, this is the best tomahawk you can get to protect your family if stuff goes south, to be able to break into buildings, break out of buildings, abandoned buildings, breach through doors, all that kind of stuff. Get into vehicles, get in and out of vehicles. What's the best tool you can have for doing all of that? The Bone Tactical Tomahawk, okay? So tell people that, share it on your Instagram, share it on your Facebook. I pay you for every single time your code is used, and you don't even have to leave your house, and you make a little bit of money. Going into that curtails into my next thing. What can you personally do, okay? You can personally figure out ways to make money off of the internet. Figure out if you're a chef, okay, for example. My brother is a chef, okay, and he works at a 5-star restaurant, and his 5-star restaurant is shut down indefinitely. He's out of work right now, and he's a very good chef, but he can't get a job as a chef anywhere. So I told him the other day, I said, hey, look, bro, here's what you got to do. Make yourself an Instagram page. Get out there on social media. Start making these meals. Take pictures of them and put it out there and do a delivery service. Get your mask on, get in your car, and go deliver these people food as long as you can. Make a little bit of money, okay? We got to work around this. Those of us that are going to get the virus are going to get the virus most likely. You know, we still need to do everything we can do to prevent it. Wash your hands regularly, use bleach with water, antibacterial soap, whatever you can get to kill the virus. Spray it everywhere, wipe everything down, keep everything clean, everything that you touch. Wear a mask if you want to keep from saliva from flying all over the place when you talk. So limit contact, obviously. Try and keep a distance between yourself and others. If you respect social distancing, when you're talking to a new person or somebody that you don't have to get up all close on their person, give them at least arm's distance of both people away, okay? Try and get 1 meter or 2 meters away even, and be like, hey, excuse me, I don't mean any disrespect, sir. With this coronavirus, can we talk from a distance, please? Is that okay? I don't want to, again, I don't mean any disrespect, but let's just respect each other's boundaries. Let's create a little bit more distance while we don't know what's going on with this virus in our community. So those are all things you can do. Let's talk a little bit more about this breaking the bank thing. I think any of you guys who have access to politicians, obviously I don't think any of my close friends or family have access all the way up to the top of anybody that I really know well, because of the situation that's happened to me, the bad negatives that have taken place in my life. And I've been seeking a presidential pardon for a long time, and seeking right for the wrongs against me, for the false accusations of the crimes and the illegal imprisonment overseas and all that kind of stuff. So I have very little influence on any politicians, as you guys know. But if any of you out there have influence on politicians, just bring up the point that we need to worry about our economy, and we need to worry about people having money, and sending out $1,000 check sometime in the near future possibly isn't, that sounds good, but it's a placebo effect. That's the government worrying more about themselves than you, and that's the government trying to get in your head and make you think that they're doing something for you when they're not, okay? The check's in the mail, all right? Where's this $1,000 check at? And what's $1,000 going to do next month when we need to be able to find ways to support ourselves now, okay? We need to really, in America, just get off of leaning on the government anyway, and we need to start thinking for ourselves anyway, because that's what America as a country was founded on. But now we've completely gone south and to the opposite end of the spectrum, and now we rely on our government for everything, and we rely on other countries for everything, and we're going to see a lot of fallout unless we can find a cure for this virus. We're going to see a lot of fallout because we don't produce stuff in America anymore. I'll give you an example. My father and his father before him and his father before him were in the produce business. My grandfather had a stand in the Philadelphia terminal market, and before that he used to walk around with tomatoes in his pockets and sell tomatoes to restaurants that didn't have tomatoes. Okay, I mean, dirt poor family here. We're talking building ourselves up from nothing, generation after generation. My father did very well selling tomatoes for himself. Came to Florida in the 1980s with absolutely nothing but the clothes on his back and the car he was driving, and built himself a nice little setup there, and by selling tomatoes for growers, large growers. And these large growers are now shutting down their farms, and they have been for the last 5 years. My dad's been out of work for more than 5 years now because the farmers are shutting down the farms because they can't compete with Mexico. So recently we've been doing some networking with some Mexican growers, and now we're having to sell, and my dad's been fighting it for a lot of years, trying to get our government to allow a little bit more of a capitalist environment so farmers can survive, but now they're not. They're dead. Farmers are gone. Tomato farmers in Florida are gone. It's a $1 billion business that's now gone, and now Mexican farmers are making more than billions of dollars. This last year's tomato market was up to $30 a box, which is the highest it's been in like 30 years. So that's just crazy. They made, individual farmers in Mexico last year made billions. So just unbelievable. And we were doing what we could to try and now get those tomatoes sold in the United States, and having them cross the border, and doing all those meetings and logistics and stuff. And I was helping my dad with a lot of that. But what ended up happening now is that what's going on with this coronavirus, and are we going to be able to do this same stuff? I don't know. Are we going to be able to transport all this produce from Mexico that we don't grow any longer in the United States? Are we going to be able to keep bringing in all of these products from China that we don't produce anymore? Are we going to be able to bring in all of this different stuff that Americans don't make anymore? I don't know the answer to that, but I think we really need to think a lot more about being self-sustaining. I think computers and machines and technology are going to be the way of the future. If you look at Amazon warehouses, you can see fulfillment centers, how they really use a lot of robot technology. I think that's going to be the way of the future. I think really we're just going to have to continue to figure out ways to do things with less manpower in the United States and have a solid infrastructure, but we're going to have to figure out ways to continue to build more things in the United States. We're going to have to be more self-sufficient as a nation, more self-sufficient as individuals. A lot of people that have moved out of the country, out into the country, into the sticks, rural areas of the United States, have recently, I had a guy comment on the live video I did, and he said, my family that used to belittle me for moving into the country now all wants to come live with me. So it's things change, guys. I think a lot of people haven't really paid attention. I'm getting a lot more people paying attention to my videos now. A lot of people are like, wow, Bone was right about a lot of stuff. And it's easy to just sit back and be that guy that takes advantage of easy times and good times. It's easy to do that. It's easy to be that guy that just doesn't do anything extra, doesn't do any hard thinking, doesn't do any planning because he doesn't have to. But those are the guys right now that are really scrambling and going out and buying 7,000 rolls of toilet paper and they have no idea what they're doing. They're losing their minds and panicking, and that's not us, guys. That's not us, and that's not for us. So one of the reasons that I'm sharing all of this information with you guys is specifically to just help and to make sure that we're not those people. But the whole point of this video is, are we breaking the bank by social distancing, or are we breaking the curve? So I really think we need to be more wary of finances and the economy and the future of the United States. And those of you who have any kind of pull, maybe share this with some people who have some roles in the government so we can start getting some thought and some preparedness done into the future. in order to make our own communities stronger, let's start with our own communities. Let's make our own communities stronger. Network with your neighbors right now, guys. Come up with plans, carpool plans, caravan plans, safety plans. If you have a doctor that lives in your neighborhood, start doing briefings, start setting up plans or even areas with where you're going to care for sick people. If you can do that, plan all this stuff out, guys. Don't just be watching Netflix all day long every day. Share this video with some people that it can help, because guys, we need to be intelligent and we need to be proactive in every situation that we can be proactive in. We need to not be complainers, we need to be worriers, and that's at Bone Tactical, that's what we are. And we are a network, and you are in the Bone Tactical network, and I appreciate you, and I thank you for watching. I thank you for sharing this video with everybody that you know, because we are creating a strong America here. Thank you, and Bone out.